Grab your snack. The show will begin momentarily. Oh yeah. I love this. All right now. Oh yeah. This song gives me the goosebumps. All right.
Hello.
Oh snap. The beat has changed. Feel it in my head. You can't see me right now, but I'm gyrating with pleasure. Oh yeah. This feels good. Oh yeah. And here we go with the show, and it flows. Yeah, you know, you like it a lot. That's right. Boom, boom, boom. Grab your drink because it's really hot. You know, you need to get your water intake. If you don't got any water, then make sure you get an energy drink, especially if you're hosting a live show. Then you know you gotta be a live mo. I had to turn off my AC because I needed to do this for Tony. Welcome back to Popcorn Poppin' Live. I am your ultimate movie, TV, and streaming guide to the Popcorn Poppy. There's too much content in the world and you can't be wasting your time. So let me waste my time for you by watching all that looks vaguely interesting in everything cinema and let you know what's poppin' and what ain't. Tonight, we'll rate this past week's new film, 28 Years Later. And we'll also be talking about a MineCraft movie, which was released a few months ago in theaters, but most recently dropped on HBO Max last Friday. We'll also go over a couple of shows that came out earlier this year as well. That includes Department Q and Common Side Effects. I recently finished them. That's why we're talking about them tonight. Plus, we'll discuss new projects coming out this week, where to watch them, and give them some poppin' projections as well. But first, let's dive into the latest news from Tinseltown. As always, I'd like to thank the interweb sources of Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and others. This is where I get all my news. If you'd like, I would recommend specifically Deadline. That's where I'm usually reporting from and reading directly off of. And just a side note, all of these reviews and opinions are that of me, the Popcorn Poppy. If you don't like it, suck it. Or just don't watch the show. I wanted to include some sort of crawl that's very similar to South Park about how all of these impersonations and opinions and whatever are purely coincidental and unintentional, but I haven't written that yet. So if you'd like to write that for me, go ahead and write it. I'll even have a little video if you'd like. But I just need everyone to know, just because I say it doesn't mean I consider it fact, even though I kind of do sometimes. It's really just me giving my opinions on this fun review show. So don't freak out at things that I think, all right? Let's get into some news. South Park is to remain on HBO Max past the current deal's end date as extension talks with Paramount continue. So the new season is going to be starting soon. I believe it's going to be on July 9th. Let me go ahead and confirm that. But it was premiering on HBO Max the following day. Now it will be remaining on HBO Max to stream, even though their deal is up. But Paramount Plus really has the exclusive rights. But apparently they've gotten into some sort of confrontation beforehand, but now they've gotten to an agreement even more recently beforehand. So you'll be able to watch Paramount Plus and HBO Max episodes of South Park. New episodes, I think, are only going to be on Paramount Plus. I doubt it will be on anything else. Okay, so next up, Harold and Kumar 4 in the works. They've kind of already confirmed it. But Josh Hurwitz, Hayden Schlossberg, and Josh Heald, the creators of Netflix's hit Karate Kid sequel series Cobra Kai, are developing a new Harold and Kumar film for Lionsgate Mandate Pictures. Deadline has confirmed. Hurwitz and Schlossberg will direct from a script from Heald. The project marks a full circle opportunity for the trio because they wrote the original Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. They didn't direct that one, but they did write and direct the following two films,
Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay, and a very Harold and Kumar Christmas. If you haven't watched them yet, make sure to watch them now. I feel like this is a little too late, but in a world of sequels, reboots, and requels, why not do it at all? I'm certainly not surprised in the very least. Cal Penn and John Cho have not signed on for the next project yet, but it's probably going to happen. I mean, come on. Also, Meet the Parents 4 is on the way. Another project that I think is a little bit too late. They've already announced this a long time ago, but they confirmed that Owen Wilson will be joining opposite Ben Stiller, Robert De Niro, Terry Polo, and newest cast member, Ariana Grande. I mean, hey, she proved that she can act in Wicked, because that part was like basically a version of Ariana Grande, at least Ariana Grande that I see. So I think it'll work, hopefully. While the plot is under wraps, THR says that one plot point centers around the song of Greg and Pam, quote, who gets engaged to a ball-busting woman who seems all wrong for him, end quote. Grande is the fiance. I don't know what that means. It sounds like this is going to center around a different wedding. Probably like Ariana Grande plays one of their kids, and they're learning from Greg and Pam's wedding on how to make a better wedding. I'm not sure. I'm not surprised that Robert De Niro said yes to this. I was surprised when he said yes to the original one way back in the day, but seeing the projects that he does these days, it's not that big of a surprise. In any case, yeah, sure, I'll watch it, but Little Fockers wasn't that great, but it was a long time ago. Let's talk about Batman, shall we? A lot of people got me a little riled up. Not me riled up specifically, but they got riled up, and I was just there to watch the fun, baby. I figured we can do some more Batman talk, maybe every week if we keep talking about it, because I had never had more comments on a video besides me saying that The Batman is the best detective film. Not the best detective film. I said The Batman is the best film of all the Batman films, and I did say the second best Batman movie of all the Batman films. I will walk that second phrase back. I'll say that it is amongst one of the best Batman films of the Batman films, but I still think it's the best film of all of them. So, James Gunn wants you to get off James Gunn wants you to get off Matt Reeves' balls. Why would he say such a thing? He said people should get off Matt's nuts because it's like, let the guy write the screenplay in the amount of time he needs to write it. That's just the way it is. He doesn't owe you something because you like his movie. I mean, you like his movie because of Matt. So let Matt do the things the way he does. A lot of people don't like the Batman, apparently, because when I first reported that they are waiting on a script and it should be finalized soon, everyone was like, oh, the Batman sucks. We hate it. We hate it. We hate it. You suck. Get off his dick. Why is everyone glazing Matt Reeves as the Batman? I thought it was a great film. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. But I'm curious to what will make the haters actually excited for the Batman 2. What do you want, haters? What does anyone want? It was recently announced that there will be a Clayface movie that's going to star Tom Rice Harries. He was in things that I'm not familiar with, like Wolf King, White Lines, and Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman, the film, the 2019 film that you can watch on Netflix right now. Great movie. The show is okay, but I hear a lot of people love it. In any case, we got this happening, which is interesting because this wasn't reported as part of the plan for the Gods and Monsters Chapter 1 of the new DCU, with Superman film being the official first film entry and Creature Commandos being the first TV show entry. However, a script by Mike Flanagan, who recently did Life of Chuck, and as I bring up basically every week, it feels like, The Fall of the House of Usher, Hush, Haunting of Hill House, amongst really, really great other ones, Midnight Mass, Dr. Sleep, great director. Anyways, he wrote a script several times and he submitted it, and James Gunn wants to do it. He's really all about greenlighting scripts before greenlighting the whole project. If he gets a good script, good and ready, he's ready to do it. He believes that the MCU's biggest faults were greenlighting projects before they even had a script. I totally agree with that sentiment. Go ahead and work on it. I'm just nervous that you're going to do too much standalone stuff without them all meeting up, because he wants to do more standalone stuff. In any case, we are going to have a Clayface movie. We're not sure if this is going to connect to Robert Pattinson's Batman or the new Batman that James Gunn is going to introduce, which he has recently said is going to be his most difficult thing to grasp, because we've had a fun Batman and we've had dark Batman. How do we find a middle ground? How do we give someone a fresh take? And how do we, he didn't say this, but I'm going to say it, how do we not watch Batman's fucking parents die again? So what do you want, haters? Do you want to see Clayface, or not haters? You can answer this too. Do you want to see Clayface against Robert Pattinson's Batman or any other Batman? I definitely want to see a live action Clayface. I'd definitely be down, but I'd rather it be part of a darker Batman instead of like fun, but I'll take what I can get. I mean, what other villains could there be? We had the Scarecrow in Batman Begins, played by Cillian Murphy. He was in the whole Dark Knight trilogy, but he was a horrific, scary Scarecrow. I'll tell you that much. I think this would be less likely to happen in a James Gunn film or in the Batman 2, because we just got that and we had a realistic version of that Batman. So we're definitely not going to see it in the Matt Reeves universe of Batman. But you know what my vote of the villain I want to see in a new Batman, whether it be Matt Reeves's or James Gunn's? Mr. Freeze, Dr. Freeze, Professor Freeze, any Freeze that is not Professor Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger Freeze. I don't want him again. I didn't hate him because he was hilarious, but you do kind of hate him because he was such a joke. I would love to see Dr. Freeze as a villain in a future Batman movie. Will it happen in the Batman 2? Probably not. It's more realistic in Matt Reeves' universe if these things happen. Granted, yes, there's wild shit that happens, but it's a fucking comic book movie. Who cares? I would still like to see Mr. Freeze. I doubt we're going to see him in Robert Pattinson's Batman, but wouldn't it be dope? Haters, come on. Would that help? Would it? There's many villains that we can try to decide from. You tell me which one you want to see. You tell me what you want to see in order to actually like Matt Reeves' Batman. What do you want to see that would be different? Not, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. Tell me what you want to see in the next Batman, and then we'll talk. All right? Okay. In other news, actually superhero news. No, this isn't superhero news, but they recently announced that Sinners is going to be on HBO Max July 5th. Actually, it'll be debuting on HBO July 5th, but you can watch it on Max July 4th, which is a Friday, y'all. Super fucking pumped for that. So I believe that's next Friday, not this Friday, but I'll be sure to remind you next week about it. Pretty excited about that. In other superhero news, the Punisher is going to be joining Spider-Man Brand New Day. Shout out to my source for this one, That Ninja Sean. That is on TikTok. You can follow him, ThatNinjaShaun. Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be coming out next year, July 31st. Very excited, but interested to see the Punisher. I'm guessing that it's not going to be like how much we saw Doctor Strange. I'm guessing it's going to be us seeing more of like we saw Daredevil in the last Spider-Man. Like it's going to be one little scene. But hey, wouldn't it be cool if he was Spider-Man's villain? Nah, I mean, no. It'd be cool, but you can't do that. You need more violence. So I don't know how they're going to do this. It seems like it's going to be a cameo thing, unless they're going to make the next Spider-Man rated R, which I highly doubt, of course. But I'm still down to see John Barenthal in a movie as the Punisher. I don't watch Doctor Who, but I recently read that Doctor Who may be in jeopardy. Quote, we don't know what's happening yet, and while everyone works that out, I'll take a pause on this page. Hopefully we'll have news soon, the showrunner wrote. The BBC has not yet made a decision about a renewal, while questions linger over its co-production deal with Disney+, which streams Doctor Who in the US. I doubt this will be canceled, but it's super weird that apparently ratings have started to decline. I'm not saying this actor isn't good. I haven't seen him in Doctor Who. He was really good in Sex Education, but maybe people just don't like this doctor and the ratings will go back higher when you choose a different doctor, which he's leaving soon. They just haven't renewed the show yet. The show's been on forever and a day. I doubt they're going to cancel it. But then again, who knows? Anything can happen. There can only be one Highlander, that is. Or could there be more than one? I'll tell you who's going to be the next one. It is Henry Cavill. He's going to be in the new Highlander film, which is going to co-star Russell Crowe playing Sean Connery's original role as Ramirez. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. I haven't seen Highlander in so long. It's from 1986. It was a badass film, but I'm not going to lie. I don't remember a goddamn thing about it, except if you cut off Highlander's head, you become Highlander, I think. I remember the only way you can die is if your head gets cut off. Like, you're invincible unless your head gets cut off. That's like literally it. So yeah, that's happening. That's kind of exciting. Henry Cavill needs a win. His recent show, that Warhammer movie or TV show, I think movie. He's got a movie coming out soon, and it's going straight to streaming instead of in theaters, and that's not good. Can't remember what it was for the moment, but I'll let you guys know. He needs a win. We had him as Superman coming back in the Dwayneverse with Black Adam, and then they canceled that, and they're like, sorry, bro, we're getting a new Superman. He's like, fine. I'll just stick with the Witcher. And he left The Witcher. But then again, I hear that The Witcher was going south anyway. We'll see what happens for him. He's a good actor. I like him. Some season renewals include Tom Segura's Bad Thoughts. You will see that on Netflix. Probably not next year. I feel like that'll be a couple of years. It depends on how badly Tom Segura will want to get back to that and take a break from stand-up. He's the type of successful stand-up comedian that has a business or six and can do whatever he wants. And he did say that he came to Hollywood because this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to make silly shit. So I'm excited for him. You can watch my review of the show in its entirety on a past Popcorn Poppin' episode, but definitely watch Bad Thoughts on Netflix if you like silly, sometimes gross comedy. Very, very funny. They're basically mini short films or sketches, but they did well. I'm excited for season 2. Also coming back is Mobland. I knew it was coming back. Again, I will say the first 2 episodes are absolutely worth watching. Overall, I don't find the show popping. I think it annoyed the fuck out of me. It was Guy Ritchie, and then some sort of like skating gangster show that just didn't work out for me. But you can be the judge yourself by watching season 1 on Paramount Plus right now, sometime before season 2 happens. I'm guessing this show will come back next year. You know what show might come back, but maybe not in show form, is a show we all miss. And if you haven't watched it yet, get on Netflix and watch Mindhunters. The co-star Holt McCallany, who is on Netflix's new The Waterfront series, which we'll get to in a second, recently said, I had a meeting with David Fincher in his office a few months ago, and he said to me that there is a chance that it may come back as a 3 2-hour movies. But I think it's just a chance. I know there are writers that are working, but David has to be happy with scripts. David Fincher is a perfectionist, so I totally trust him. I'm excited to see if this happens. I want Mindhunters to have a solid ending. The show was amazing. Check it out on Netflix. It was only 2 seasons long, but it's so good, especially if you like serial killer shit. And granted, it is a fictitious show about, I believe, fictitious characters. They might actually be based on real characters, but it is about the study of serial killers around the time of, man, I can't remember one serial killer from the show, but you watch the show. Charles Manson's in season 2. They have cool interviews with all these serial killers that are real, but fictitious in the show. Anyways, watch Mindhunters if you haven't, and I really hope this comes back. 3 2-hour movies is silly, unless you're just doing part 1. Just do one more season. That would be easier. But I'm assuming because David Fincher chose not to do a season 3 because Netflix wouldn't give him a bigger budget. So he said, fuck you, I'll not do it. I want more money. So I think the only way they'll give him more money is if they end the show. And the only way they'll get more money is if they classify it as a movie as opposed to a TV show. Hopefully it happens. I'd be down. And finally in news, the Death Stranding video game is having a movie, but it won't be live action. I have not played Death Stranding, but I've watched it on YouTube. One of the craziest, I don't understand it, but I loved it. I loved every second of what I watched. Besides the gameplay, it was the cutscenes I was all about. I'm down to watch this movie, but it won't be live action and it won't be a remake. It's actually going to be an original animated story set in the Death Stranding universe, set in the wake of a series of cataclysmic explosions around the world, which result in the dead and living become connected. This is going to be done by Aaron Guzikowski. Sorry if I am mispronouncing your name. If you haven't watched Raised by Wolves, he is going to write the screenplay for the Death Stranding animated film. I'm down because I loved Raised by Wolves. I've talked about it a bunch on PopCorn Poppin before. It was an HBO Max series back when HBO Max first came out as a streaming service. It's no longer there, though. They got rid of it and they like sold it to Tubi. You can't watch it on Tubi. I looked it up, but apparently they're doing a marathon on June 28th. Highly recommend. It is a fucking crazy show. I love it. Only lasted 2 seasons. It got canceled, but it was super dope. Watch season 1 and 2. Gets wild in season 2. Anyways, Death Stranding movie in the works. So we're going to play a little game called Did You Know This Existed? In my research, I have found that there have been crazy projects that I had never heard of that either got canceled, swept under the rug, or was a cult classic that I did not drink the Kool-Aid from. And today, we're going to be talking about a little film called Birds of Prey. We're actually going to be talking about a television show called Birds of Prey. You remember Birds of Prey? You know, that 2020 film called Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. It featured 80% Harley Quinn and 20% Birds of Prey. 'Twas a fun film. I didn't hate it, honestly. I thought it was very fun. And I dug that it was rated R. They did have a couple sequences that I absolutely fucking hated. But it needed way more Birds of Prey. I would have totally watched the second film and it would have been better, but they never continued it. They probably never will. But did you know, years prior in 2002, they made a Birds of Prey TV show called simply Birds of Prey. New Gotham's undercover superhero Batman has disappeared, leaving behind a daughter from his longtime love, Catwoman. Her name is Helena, the mysterious superhero known as the Huntress. She has teamed up with the paralyzed hero, Batgirl, and together they meet up with their next teammate, Dinah Lance. Dinah is a telepath and psychic who had terrifying dreams about Batgirl's brutal accident. That wasn't an accident. They must learn how to... Joker shot her, I believe, or beat her. I can't remember, one of the two. Joker did that intentionally. They must learn how to work together and become not only a team of superheroes, but also a family. So yeah, this show happened. I do not remember it. And I will totally be looking up clips. I watched the trailer and I was going to add it to this, but we've actually never watched trailers on PopCorn Poppin' before. I'm thinking that's something I can legally do because due to like parody law or something, as long as I make fun of it. Actually, I think if I'm reviewing it, it's fine. Plus, it'll be free advertising. I'm not recreating it or trying to make money off of it. I mean, I am trying to make money off of this. Give me money. Cash App Jermaine Higgins. Give me money. Venmo Jermaine Higgins. Give me money. Anyways. This doesn't look good, but I thought it was interesting that there was a Birds of Prey TV show from 2002, which had 3 actresses I never heard of. Ashley Scott as Helena Wayne, Dinah Meyer as Barbara Gordon, and Rachel Scarston as Dinah Lance, a.k.a. Black Canary. And I didn't know that Huntress was Bruce Wayne and Catwoman's daughter. That's interesting. In the movie, it's played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but I don't think they ever mentioned that her dad's Batman. You can rent this TV show if you'd like. I'm not telling you to do it, but I think it would be interesting. If you haven't watched the trailer, be ready and set for what I'm assuming was a UPN show. Although UPN might not have been around 2002. Check it out. Check out the trailer. It's fun. All right. Let's take a commercial break and we'll be right back. Oh, wait. We're not going to take a commercial break. We have one comment. Woo! Tony! 50-50 winner! Woo! You rock, Tony. Thank you, Kyle Androina. I hope you beat that cancer, buddy. That's right. We went to a function for Kyle Androina, who is currently trying to fuck cancer. Not like fuck cancer, but he's trying to tell cancer to fuck off. So, hey, Kyle, if you want, drop down like a Cash App or something, and we can get people to donate to you for your treatment. That would be dope. And I'd be helping. But what's funny is none of it's funny. It sucks. It's terrible. Kyle, get better. Do not die. But he had 2 raffles. I didn't know he had 2 raffles, but I bought 2 raffle tickets. I'm sorry, I bought a lot of raffle tickets, and it was a really cool setup. He had like gift baskets, ones of alcohol, which I stayed away from, ones of like a movie date, which had like popcorn and stuff like that. And there was a bunch of gift baskets like that. And I was on my way to go there, and someone stopped me. They're like, no, you bought tickets for the 50-50 raffle, not for this. And I'm like, what the hell is a 50-50 raffle? And it's where I think you win 50% of the raffle of money. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I'm just here to donate. But it turns out I walked out a winner. Super excited. That's going to a trip fund. I'm pretty excited. Anyways, Kyle, get better. Like I said, if you comment your Venmo or your Cash App, I'll 1,000% put it up on here. But thank you. Now we're going to take a commercial break, and I want you to tell me how often you see me sweat right now, because I can feel it. I turned off the air conditioner because it's right there, and I don't want you to hear it while I'm streaming. That's how much I care for you. I want to give you good entertainment, even though I'm dying from heat exhaustion. We'll be right back.
There you are. We were worried sick.
Do you know how long we were looking for you?
Every time you do this, you're gone longer and longer.
You're gone so much, we almost felt like giving up.
Listen, we love you, but if you keep this up...
If you go missing one more time, mister, I'll literally put you on a leash. Is that what you want?
Baby, I don't know if that's a good idea.
Shut up. Is that what you want? No. I'm sorry?
No.
All right, then.
Listen, if you could just stay put where you are at all times, everything will be okay, all right? Okay. All right, good. I trust him.
I don't know.
Baby, let's just take a deep breath. Feel better?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now I think... Oh, damn it, he's gone again!
Now we won't be able to watch Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Oh, man. That, I'm sad. This is sad to me. I'm sad.
Get off.
Okay.
Parents, always tether your remotes. That way they don't get lost in the couch and you don't miss out on Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is a public service announcement.
Thank you, public service announcement. Now let's go to the Limelight shows that came out recently. And by recently, it could have been months ago. But the first one that we're just going to talk about that I actually haven't watched, but it did come out, and I want to let you know in case you're interested. It's called The Waterfront. As their storied North Carolina fishing empire decays, the damaged Buckleys grapple to revive their imperiled maritime heritage, which stars, that's an awful plot outline. It's basically Ozark and Yellowstone mixed together with a lot more soap opera-y-ish shit. At least that's what I indicated from the trailer. In any case, you can watch this that stars Maria Bello. His name was Robert Paulson, Mindhunter Man, Holt McNary. We know now because I told the story earlier about him. And Melissa Benoist, who plays Supergirl on the television show Supergirl. Seems a bit soapy for me, but I think it did do well when it comes to how many streams it did. You can watch it on Netflix right now in case you're interested. Now, I didn't watch any other news shows, but I did finish a couple of recent shows like Department Q, which you can watch on Netflix, about Carl, a former top-rated detective who's racked with guilt following an attack that left his partner paralyzed with another policeman dead. On his return to work, Carl is assigned to a cold case that will consume his life. He still has other stuff going on, though. I don't know if it consumes his life. It definitely affects it, hopefully for the better, but I can't tell you. You can watch this on Netflix. Poppin' or not, it was poppin'. I like mysteries. I don't like procedural cop shows, though, and this was borderline for it. However, this is very fun for those who like detective shit. This is done by Scott Frank, who did The Queen's Gambit. It's not as good as that, but I felt the vibe from it, even though they're two extremely different shows. The pros are funny, sharp dialogue. I like the organic storytelling that moves characters forward and sticking with the one cold case. However, there is a few cons. Specifically, I did not love the perspective of the missing girl. It kind of took me out of paying full attention to the show. It's not the show's fault, but it's my lack of attention paying skills that is at fault. I'd have rather them pay more attention to Detective Mork, the main detective and his crew, and less on her flashbacks specifically. I'll give this one a medium popcorn. It's mostly for those who like detective shows. It's almost procedural enough for fans of that genre to watch, and not enough procedural for me to avoid. Check this out on Netflix. An animated series that was very highly rated and did get greenlit for a season 2 is called Common Side Effects, which is about 2 former high school lab partners stumble on a mushroom that can heal almost anything. Apart from the corporate interests of the DEA, Big Pharma, and international businessmen. This comes from the makers of Scavenger's Reign, which I have not watched. I hear that that's one of the best shows ever made. I think it is way more serious than this series that is very funny and has great science fiction elements. It was certainly poppin', wild fucking ride, hilarious and interesting with dope science fiction elements. And I love, like, every character. They have an array of characters in this too. The only con I really have is I didn't love the animation style. The people looked weird, but you get used to it. Specifically, there's 2 detectives that are in the show that do this dancing thing. And that's what made me love the animation. It was very likable. You can be the judge yourself by watching the first season on HBO Max, and I'll let you know when the second season is finna drop. Now let's check out what's coming out, what's in theaters, including Everything's Going to Be Great. As the smart family wrestle with their oversized dreams, they come to realize that the struggle to find your voice and your place in the world can happen no matter what stage of life you're in. The stars, Bryan Cranston, Allison Janney, and a few other people that I don't know. I forecast it to be not popping enough for me to even try out, but watching the trailer, it looks fairly good because it looks like it's got some good feels. Feels that I don't really particularly want to avoid. This movie doesn't look like it's worth my time, but it does look uplifting. Like, it looks like if you have a dream, everything's going to be great. Watch Bryan Cranston walk you through it. Could be good. This is in theaters right now, and you let me know if you like it. Also in theaters right now, the biggest bomb Pixar history when it comes to opening weekend, and that is Elio, which is in theaters right now. About Elio, a space fanatic with an active imagination, finds himself on a cosmic misadventure where he must form new bonds with alien life forms, navigate a crisis of intergalactic proportions, and somehow discover who he is truly meant to be. I forecasted this to be better than expected. I think the trailer fucked up expectations by showing how the whole film unfolds, but it looks fun, and I do like the storyline. I saw this trailer, and I was like, this looks like a straight-to-DVD animated... straight-to-Disney Channel film. That's what the trailer was like. It was too fun of music. It was definitely catering to children, don't get me wrong, but the reason that Pixar movies were doing so well in the beginning is because adults wanted to see these too. But the way that they're advertising these new films, I don't think it's working, y'all. I'm not sure how Lightyear did, but that's the last one that I think people were like, oh shit, Pixar's back. Even though people were really pissed off that it wasn't Tim Allen's Lightyear. But that was how you trailered. This is not how you trailer. Don't show me how the whole film works. And don't do it like it's a fun ride. Like, don't get me wrong. You want kids to have a fun ride. But like Cars 3, that trailer, it was like, yo, this looks intense. Do something different like you used to do. Stop trying to be like mainstream animation. Go back to taking more risks. The storyline looks fun. I'm not saying change the storyline, but present it differently. I think that was your marketing didn't work. I might be wrong, though. You can be the judge yourself by watching Elio in theaters right now. And the other film that I didn't see that's in theaters right now is Bride Hard, starring Rebel Wilson. When a mercenary group takes a lavish wedding hostage, they have no idea what they are in for, as the maid of honor, played by Rebel Wilson, is actually a secret agent ready to rain hellfire upon anyone who would ruin her best friend's wedding. This stars Rebel Wilson, Divine Joy Rudolph, Academy Award winner Divine Joy Rudolph, and Anna Camp. This is also directed by Simon West, who did The Mechanic, Expendables 2, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, and Con fucking Air. The trailer is awful, but this does look like it has a lot of potential. I think it'd be more interesting if it wasn't a Rebel Wilson vehicle. No shade on her. I have nothing against her, but I just don't think she's enough pull for me to check this film out. Having said that, I can see myself putting this film on in the background someday when it comes to streaming. You can be the judge yourself by watching this in theaters right now. And now we'll get into the spotlight films. We're going to start off with one film that came out a year or two ago, but I did check out, then a streaming, and then our main film. But first, sorry, I see we have a new comment. Yes. All right. If you want to fuck cancer, not literally, if you want to be like, get out of here, cancer, shoo. Please donate through Venmo at Kyle-Androyna. That is KYLE-ANDROYNA. Donate. Fuck cancer. Not literally. Just tell it to shoo, because cancer sucks. It takes the people that you love most in life. Because, Kyle, I love you, Kyle. I do. I don't love you most in my life, but you are sincerely one of the nicest people I've ever met, because the only problem I've ever had with you is vying for the same role. But you've always been super dope, and we also had a lot of fun together, not only in Call of Duty, but acting as well. And I need to put you in some movies, man. So let's fuck up cancer. Donate to at Kyle-Androyna. Let's get back to some films. Spotlight films. Seriously, Kyle, we got to work on more stuff together. It's kind of hard, though. You got a family and shit. I have nothing. JK. All right. On Hulu, I watched The Order, which I've been interested in for a very long time. I just got around to watching it recently. It's about a string of violent robberies in the Pacific Northwest, which leads veteran agent Terry Husk to a white supremacist group. The group plans to overthrow the federal government. Jude Law, Journey Smollett, Ty Sheridan, and Nicholas Holt star. It is popping, y'all. If you like good direction and you want to watch a movie about like smooth bank robbery scenes, it has excellent direction, editing, and acting. Even from Journey, who's hardly in the film, but she is very, very good in it. Pacing was fucking great. The point of view from every character was excellent. There is also one other actor I have to look up. I didn't write it down. She has literally 3 scenes. But she has one scene where she just stares at Jude Law for a long time. She plays Ty Sheridan's wife. Let me look this up real quick. Mark Maron's also in the film. He's actually very good in it. He's a good actor. Morgan Holmstrom. I don't think I've ever seen her before. Apparently, she's on SkyMed, the series, and she was in a couple episodes of Outlander. Excellent actress. She had just one specific scene. I was like, yo, that's acting. Excellent work. But no, dude, there's no cons of this film. It's a damn near perfect film. I would have given it a large popcorn with butter if it had a wee bit more action in it. But the small amount of action scenes that they did have were, I don't want to use the term realistic, but it does stuff that you don't see in every action movie. Like there are certain bits of violence where you're like, holy shit. And I don't want to give away too much. Just check it out if you're ever bored. If you like Jude Law, you'll love this movie. But check out the trailer at least and let me know what you think. You can watch The Order on Hulu right now. Going into a bit newer film that did not get released recently, but it was recently put on HBO Max, a MineCraft movie. Green screen galore, Jack Black and Momoa. You know I'm down. Mostly Jack Black is the reason I wanted to watch this. When I heard about it, I'm like, I'm not going to watch this. I've never played Minecraft, never been interested in Minecraft. When I found out Momoa was in it and Jack Black. I'm like, okay, you guys are doing some good shit. When you got Danielle Brooks, I'm like, okay, you guys are doing a well-rounded cast. I dig it. And I saw the trailer. And the only reason I decided to watch it is because I'm never gonna watch this, so I'll watch it. And I was like, yo, this looks a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So it dropped on HBO Max, and it is like one of the biggest blockbuster movies ever, actually. They're definitely going to make 2 or 3 more of these. And Poppin' or not, I'm going to say Poppin'. You know, I don't think I'll go to the theater to watch the second one. I'm just not a MineCraft guy. There's nothing wrong with it. But the things that I noticed about it were it was full of green screen shit. I'm sure this was a easy movie to film if you're, like I told you guys, Mark Wahlberg is an excellent actor when he's doing green screen stuff. For instance, you will never see him act better in anything than you do in his Transformer films and Ted, because he's acting like someone's next to him, and boy, is he good at acting like he has an imaginary friend. You have that throughout this. There are hardly any real sets besides the first the first third of the film. The last 2/3 is green screen galore, which I'm not really like saying it as a dig. I'm just saying it as like it's very noticeable. But the CGI shit that they did was still like wondrous and whatnot, and fun and scrumptulescent. Jack Black and Momoa are fucking awesome. I love them working together. If they do another film, I hope that they're both in it. The fight scene with Danielle Brooks and the young girl when they're fighting not the villagers, like the zombies. Honestly, every action scene in this was a lot of fun, and it was very good direction by, I think, Jared Hirsch. It's the guy who did Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre. He did a great job with this. And he also produces with his wife as well, and writes, but I don't think that they wrote this film. Anyways, I love the ninja roll and skata, and snake attack. Very much Jack Black isms that were fun. Could have used more Danielle Brooks. I think that she was just kind of there for a couple of scenes. The particular best scene of this film to me was the flying scene with parachute flying pigs. One plays a drum to the beat of a rock song that's playing in the background. It reminded me of Mad Max Fury Road with a guitar player. Just a really badass scene. Jack Black riding Momoa and having the full man sandwich was hilarious. Even the short little B story they had with Jennifer Coolidge dating the villager was funny. I'm just curious, for fans of the video game, did you like this movie? I thought it was fun. I dug it. Like I said, it's popping. I'm going to give it a solid medium. I know I give a lot of shit a medium, but this is one of those movies that I was putting out in the background, and I found myself laughing really hard at a lot more scenes than I thought I was going to. You can check it out on HBO Max yourself. And now on to one more comment. Oh, you're going to make me blush. Yes, once done with cancer treatment, we need to collaborate on something. For real, dude, it's been years since I've done any skits. I miss it. You got it, Kyle. You got it. All right. The long anticipated 28 years later review. You know, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I loved 28 Days Later. Danny Boyle is one of my favorite directors, and this is one of my favorite zombie films. People argue about whether or not 28 Days Later is a zombie film or it's an infection film. Technically, yes, it's an infection film, but it's about fast-running zombies. Tell me I'm wrong. Technically, I'm wrong because they don't only go for brains or eating human flesh. They're just really angry and decide to bite a lot. And that really is highlighted in 28 Weeks Later. So 28 Days Later is 28 days after a virus takes over Britain, and it causes the rage virus that turns you into a crazy person that vomits blood unless they eat anything, specifically human flesh, or if they just beat people to death. And if you saw the first episode of Walking Dead, it is literally taken from 28 Days Later, where Cillian Murphy's gown and him walk around the streets of Britain being like, what? Hello, hello. And it's done so with weird cinematography that looks almost independent and cheap, but it's done on purpose to give that post-apocalyptic look. As a filmmaker, I really respected it and I dug it. And it made things a little scary, especially the jumpy effects that they did whenever zombies would run towards someone. It made it scary. I thought it was a very scary fucking film. Storyline wise, it wasn't like a very, very, very special one. Then again, it was made in the early 2000s, 23 years ago to be exact. Not 28 years ago. It was made 23 years ago. However, I dug it a lot. It was one of my favorites. 28 weeks later, I thought was a solid follow-up. It decided to go for a more contemporary look where it's not exactly jumpy when the zombies run at you, but it's definitely not cheap looking either. It looks professional. Had Jeremy Renner, Rose Byrne, Idris Elba, very good cast. And it had a lot more action and a lot more gruesome scenes with a much better storyline. I still prefer the first film from a director's point of view, but when it comes to watching like a crazy ass zombie movie, the second one was superior, I will admit. Did they do 28 months later? No, for some reason they didn't. Probably because it's been so many years since. But 23 years later, we got 28 years later. After I don't have the regular one. Let's check out what the regular storyline was. It's been almost 3 decades since the Rage virus escaped from a biological weapons laboratory. It was a monkey, by the way. Still living in a ruthlessly enforced quarantine, some have found ways to exist amid the infected. One such group of the survivors lives on a small island connected to the mainland by a single heavily defended causeway. When one of them decides to venture into the dark heart of the mainland, he soon discovers a mutation that has spread to not... What was that? If I'm being murdered, call the police. Hello? All right, I don't think that was anything. I hope not. If you see a fucking hand, you comment and be like, run, motherfucker. He soon discovers a mutation that has spread not only to the infected, but other survivors as well. Ah, right. So, did it live up to its name? No Cillian Murphy. I'm telling you right now, this isn't a spoiler. There's no Cillian Murphy. Danny Boyle recently announced a long time ago, they said that Cillian Murphy would make an appearance in one of these films. They didn't necessarily say it was this film. Recently, Danny Boyle, the director who directed the first film, came back for this one, including the writer, Alex Garland, said Cillian Murphy's coming back, but not this time. He will be in the next film, which is 28 years later, Bone Temple. But we're not talking about that right now. I just wanted to let you know that he's not in this. This one stars Aaron Taylor Johnson, Jodie Comer, and the Voldemort, he who should not be named himself, Ray Fiennes. So, how did this do? Bucky, are you there? I just wanted to make sure. Please tell me that this was worth the wait. Tell me that 23 years later, that 28 years later, that doesn't make sense. Whatever. Tell me that it was worth it. Oh, thank God. I really needed that to be worth it. And I'm glad that it was. That's right. And it was deliciously poppin'. The pros are, I love the chaos in this film. Very chaotic. It makes you feel uneasy at times. Not like shaky cam like it did with 28 Days, but it has a mixture of loud soundtrack and score and action suspense that was pure gold on screen, especially in Dolby. The kid that is from the main point of view of the film is actually really good. Fine actor, not super annoying like most kids are in horror films. And usually kids are annoying as fuck in these things. I like that this film, yes, it is taking place within a community in Britain. And they are connected by a strip of land that is only available certain times of the day. I believe that this is a real place in the world. A long time ago, I reviewed a miniseries called The Third Day. I don't want to get into it right now. It had Jude Law in it, but it did have a strip of land that you could only walk over when there wasn't high tide because that strip of land was surrounded by water. In this film, once a day you can go, but like by nighttime, it gets taken by high tide. So their community is zombieless. They have no one with the rage virus, and they're very, very strict, but they're also built this sort of weird community that is sort of religious. They don't go into the religion that much. They show flashes of masks and shit, and it makes you very intrigued, and there's definitely breadcrumbs of what's to come in later films. But the strip of land connects to a forest of a Greater Britain, I'm assuming, and it's filled with infected. And this takes place and from the eyes of a kid that's going on a hunting trip with his dad. The whole small town is very excited for him to get his first kill. And all they're trying to do is go hunt and come back, because they basically have like 5 jobs for everyone in the community: forager, hunter, gatherer, etc., etc. Blacksmith, maybe. I don't know. They show you a diagram. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And I buy that specifically when it comes to some sort of apocalypse. I like the hunting trip with a twist with zombies. I was interested in how there are different types of zombies. So yeah, you can't just have, yeah, they're all still zombies. This shit's going to mutate eventually, you know? And I dig that they took some swings at it. They introduce, I'm going to give you slight spoilers. I won't tell you what they do, but there are leader zombies called alpha zombies, and there are gluttonous zombies. Those are like the 2 newest ones that you see. And the alpha zombies are scary as fuck. Like, sincerely, super scary. I love it. I love it. Gluttonous ones are weird, and there was a scene where you kind of see one like run away. I didn't dig that, but in any case, I'm interested to see what other types of zombies that they're going to introduce in the next films, because we are going to see more land besides what we saw in this one. Yeah, it makes sense for them to mutate in. It makes sense to mutate monsters in completely crazy, believable ways. Although I did see the one that ran away. But the Bone Temple that they actually show in this, the second film in this trilogy is called 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. And I think that they show the Bone Temple in this. If that wasn't it, I don't know what the Bone Temple is going to be. I won't tell you why it says that, but just look at this. That's not all that's in this area. But this scene was cool. You're like, yo, the architecture of this place is crazy. I hope this gets nominated for art direction, because that shit was nuts. Great comedic break in the middle of the film with an army dude and a kid for a bit. There's a lot of wild action that happens for a bit, and there's kind of like a lull, and it's a good lull, a good time to go get popcorn or use the bathroom, but also good to sit down and watch, because they also confirm what the entire world is like outside of Britain, and it's very different. The first 2 films, you know that there's an outbreak in Britain or England and Paris, but you don't know what Paris is like until the end of 28 Weeks Later. And I believe that the original idea was to make 28 Months Later to take place in Paris, but they kind of scratched that. I'm okay with it because I like this story a lot. I was kind of nervous about it being on a small island, but I think it works. The heart of the story towards the end of the film that surrounds the kid and his mother, it kind of dragged a little bit for me, but I can't deny that it had the proper feels. Everyone felt it. Reviewers felt it. And I will say I felt it. I was just like, all right, man, let me get like a crazy ass 3rd act climax. That's what I wanted. And you don't get a crazy climax at the end of the film. They do one small little chase scene, but it's not like a, holy shit, did you see that? There wasn't a like giant climax, and all I want is a climax all over me. You know, I was just sitting there, eyes wide, mouth agape, just waiting for the climax, and it just never happened. I just wanted that climax. Anyways, the other cons of the film, which aren't many, the film has bookends, where it has one character that's referenced in the first few minutes of the film, and that character is not brought up again until the very end. In the opening scene, you see kids wait in a living room, and a parent go, wait here. And you see this in the trailer too. And that scene is cool, but the kid escapes and runs to a church. This sequence I didn't dig too much, because the zombies look kind of slow, and the thing with the priest in the church, it just didn't work for me personally. I didn't love that part. So I was kind of scared for the rest of the movie, but it was just a small thing that I didn't love. I loved them in the apartment with the kids, but I didn't like the church scene. I don't know. I'm like, I got a bad feeling for the rest of this film. Now, the closing scene, jarring, very like, why did you do that? So I'm not going to spoil how the movie ends, except to tell you that a door opens for another film. And it does end on a cliffhanger. Like, the main plot of the movie is resolved with one specific character, but when it comes to the father and the son dynamic, you don't know how it's going to end. And I think it's what the whole trilogy is going to be about. But the ending scene was fucking goofy. It features an actor that I'm excited to see join this trilogy. He was in a huge film this year. I won't say what it was because I don't want you to connect the dots. But he is an excellent, underrated actor. But he appears as a cartoon character with a gang of doofus, train-spotted, blonde-haired jumpsuit buffoons that were cut from the original screenplay of Tony Scott's The Warriors. Just weird. Weird ending. It was unneeded. The other cons that I had was the dad, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. He did a great job, and the character was three-dimensional, but he seemed like a normal, like, let's go hunt, son, and don't worry, it's okay, for the first half of his screen time. And then right when they get back to the mainland, they're like, oh, no, this dad's kind of a dick. Oh, no, he's a super dick. Oh, he could be abusive. Like, what? It just kind of happened. They should have breadcrumbed it a little bit. The kid was only annoying by doing the main part of the plot, and that was to take his second trip out into the world of zombies. It didn't make any sense, and the whole theater was like, what the fuck is this kid doing? He's not going to get any help. Like, it didn't make sense, specifically because he was a scaredy cat a little bit. I'm not saying what a scaredy cat, little pussy, but he was a bit scared his first trip. So you're saying to defy his dad, he murked up the courage to just, I'm going to go by myself. No, you little shit. You don't know what you're doing. Even though you've been out there once, you barely made it out alive. Anyways, I didn't like that. And there was a pregnancy scene that was a bit far-fetched that involved characters and a zombie. And the zombie was a bit too chill at first. And I don't know if you could say that it was I don't know. You could say it was animalistic for the zombie not to act rageful, but I don't know what they're doing with the baby either. I can't tell you too much, but it involves that. So I'm excited for the next film, but they should have just showed that new character at the very end of the movie introduce himself. Because he goes, I'm so-and-so, and I can help you if you like. Go ahead and nod if you do. And like, they should have ended it right there. But instead, they kept going. And I didn't like that. It's supposed to make you excited for the Bone Temple, but it just put a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, yo, if this is the tone of Bone Temple, I don't really want to see it. But I do still want to see it. For now, you can definitely count me in for Nia DaCosta behind the camera for 28 years later. Bone Temple set to release next year. And it will feature, according to Danny Boyle, Cillian Murphy's character to return. Nia DaCosta did The Marvels, super underrated. Watch it on Disney+. But she also did what I believe to be underrated, Candyman, the Jordan Peele produced requel that came out a few years ago that you can watch on, I believe, Amazon Prime right now. I loved it. I think she's an excellent director. I'm excited for her to helm this project. So, believe me or not, I'm walking on air. I gave this a large popcorn. The only reason I didn't give it butter was because of that weird fucking ending. It was a weird thing to put in there. And for it to be Danny Boyle's last scene, it's like, yo, dude, why? And it was very Danny Boyle-esque. You'll see. You'll see. Go to theaters and check it out. It's popping. I'm not lying. It's very good. It's just, you tell me what you think of the ending. Tell me right now. Do it. Don't spoil it. Just tell me if you like it or not. All right. Let's check out what's coming out in theaters next week. Or I'm sorry, what's coming out in theaters this week. What is there to see? There's a few options, like F1, the movie, aka Formula One with Damson Idris and Brad Pitt. This is in theaters. Poppin' or not, I think it will pop. I think it'll be super dope. This is directed by Joseph Kosinski, who did Top Gun Maverick. So got a pretty good director to do this. I'm pretty sure they're going to get him to do Days of Thunder. But then again, will he want to do that after just doing this racing movie? Who knows? I'm excited. I've seen a little bit of the trailer, but I don't care. You put Brad Pitt in it, I'm going to watch it. Damson Idris, get him in more movies. Thank you for putting him in this, but get him in more. All right? Okay? Snowfall's been gone for like a few years now. This man deserves an Oscar for something. Let it be so. I'm excited to see this in theaters, and I will definitely be reporting back on how it is. But the movie that everyone's going to be talking about is Megan 2.0. Now, I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was very fun. And then I heard about 2, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Bring it back. Throw it back. Throw it back. I'm down. I don't do it very well, but you know the dance. Then I watched the trailer. I'm not going to watch this. It looks fucking awful. And I get it's supposed to be a joke, but I ain't laughing. It looks awful. I hate the marketing for this film. And I hate the direction that they brought it in. But that's my opinion. And let's give it the pros. Pros. It looks like they're being different. And they're taking it in an entirely new direction, and they're not just recreating the first one. Cons, it looks awful. 2 years after Megan, a marvel of artificial intelligence went rogue and embarked on a murderous rampage, its creator, Gemma, has become an advocate for government oversight of AI. Unbeknownst to her, a defense contractor has created a military-grade weapon known as Amelia, the ultimate infiltration spy. However, as Amelia's self-awareness increases, it becomes less interested in taking orders. Hoping to stop Amelia, Gemma decides to resurrect Megan, making it faster, stronger, and more lethal. This looks like shite. Megan, let's make a deal. Can you help us? Sure, but I'll do it for you. You, I'm gonna kill. Megan, maybe we shouldn't bring you back because you did sort of murder people, but oh well. Fucking dumb. And I get it's a comedy. Like, it is a comedy. And if it's not, what are you doing? Like, this is all on purpose. The ridiculousness is on purpose. I get it, but no, I won't do it unless you tell me to go see it. If you tell me to go see it, I'll go watch it. If I find out it's very good, I'll go watch it. But I forecast this to suck, and I'm not going to see it. Not for you, not for Popcorn Poppin', but maybe for you. If I get enough people to say, hey, go watch this so we don't have to, fine. But I'm not going to like a damn bit about it. Maybe you will if you watch it in theaters. Streaming-wise, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, will be streaming on HBO Max Friday. I love the Looney Tunes, and I think I know what this is about. I've stayed away from trailers. I'm not a big fan of the animation style, but I think I'm going to lean into it once I watch the movie because Looney Tunes, I've always loved you, and I will be checking this out on HBO Max. TV-wise, Squid Game is going to return for their final season on Netflix Friday. Very excited for this to end. Not excited for this to end. I'm excited to see how it's going to end. I dug the previous season, but I was kind of like, yo, why did you end after only a few games and not all the games? But I had a feeling they're going to cut it in two, mostly because they announced it. Also, we have season 4 of The Bear dropping on Hulu Wednesday. I hated last season, so this season better be good. Last season seemed like the slowest bridge in the world to another season, and I think it won awards, and that really pisses me off. Granted, it did have a few episodes that were pretty good, I'm not going to lie, but 7 out of the 10 episodes sucked balls. I said it. Fight me. Or watch The Bear on Hulu right now. Very excited to watch Apple TV Plus's Smoke, which stars Journey Smollett and Taron Egerton. When an arson investigator begrudgingly teams up with a police detective, the race to stop 2 arsonists ignites a twisted game of secrets and suspicions. Pretty excited about this. I saw the trailer, and it does look like a movie, not a TV show. I'm assuming that this is like his last Apple TV show, Apple TV Plus show. That was a miniseries. I hope that this is a miniseries, but who knows? Maybe it's so good that we want a regular series. But a lot of these movie-looking TV shows have been happening a lot lately. But I'm down. Whatever. I'll check it out. Smoke, Apple TV Plus Fridays. I project it to pop. Check out the trailer. Countdown. I don't know if I watch this, but if you like Jensen Ackles, you can watch Countdown on Amazon Prime Wednesdays that revolves around an LAPD officer who joins a secret task force to investigate a suspicious murder, but uncovers a sinister plot that requires the team to unite and save millions in the city. Again, Jensen Ackles. If you like Supernatural, you'll probably like this. It looks a little too procedural for me, but maybe I'll give it a shot. Trailer was fun. You can check it out on Apple TV. No, not Apple TV Plus. You can check it out on Prime Wednesdays. And finally, Nautilus, which is based on Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's an action series that tells the origin story of Captain Nemo, which includes a giant fucking octopus fighting a ship. I've never read 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, nor have I seen the original with Kirk Douglas. You can watch that on Disney Plus. But the trailer for this, I was like, yo, this looks like a pretty sick movie, like a Pirates of the Caribbean movie with Sci-Fi, the channel budget. But it looks very entertaining, and it looks action-y and fun. I'm just a little worried about the budget. However, this is on AMC Sundays or AMC Plus Sundays. I'm down. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm just, again, when they show like the CGI scenes, it looks a little fake, but the story may save it. Hopefully so. You let me know. And that is about it, y'all. Looks like I got a couple more comments. From Roxy Hart, I definitely agree with Bucky. 28 years later was Poppin'. However, I think the next film should be a prequel. 28 hours later. Oh, man, I wish I read that earlier. Yeah, that's a great fucking idea. Damn. I love this girl. Her mind, divine. That is a really good idea. That's an excellent idea. The thing I love about what I love about apocalyptic films. So one reason I was nervous about 28 years later is because it takes place so far after D-Day, after the day it happens. One thing I loved about A Quiet Place Part 2 was it took place the day of the apocalypse. I find that way more thrilling and interesting because of the chaos and the what the hell's going on. I find that more interesting than later on down the line of like, how did they survive after this? Let's find out. 28 days was like close enough, but 28 hours, baby, we need to get famous and successful so we can do this because I don't think anyone's thought about this. Good job. And finally, oh, nice. Thank you for the reminder about Squid Games. You're very welcome. Definitely catch up on Squid Games. The last season, I like the last season. Everyone's pissed because they had to wait so long for the next season, but hey, it's right here, right now. So check it out. It was super fun. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for watching. Again, if you want to Venmo at Kyle-Androyna, that's KYLE-ANDROYNA to fuck off cancer, please do so. He's a dope guy that deserves to be on this world at least 60 more years. So let's save his life, okay? And You can Venmo me, Jermaine Higgins, JermaineHiggins. If you want me to make cool shit. Because pretty soon I'm going to be done with this short film. I'm going to be submitting it to festivals, and we are going to get a name for Popcorn Poppin'. We're going to have a bigger audience for Popcorn Poppin'. We already actually do. We're getting comments. We're getting people that are like telling me news to bring up on the show. The clips are doing really well on TikTok. Follow at Popcorn Poppin' Productions and join the comments on there. A lot of people have been arguing. I don't mean to argue though, but a lot of people have been supportive as well. So thank you sincerely for watching the show. And